Good morning, guys. How are you? I'm pretty fine today. We're going to start a new class on language, okay? Today is Monday, September 28, 2020. My name is Ana Luisa Verme Hipólito. Get your notebook ready. I want you to copy this in your notebook, okay? There's a pencil. Subjects in imperative. We have seen already kind of sentences. And imperative sentences uh, give you orders. In imperative sentence, you is always the subject. You is not stated in the sentence. Okay? So we say that you is the understood subject. We have some examples here. You does not appear on the sentence. If you know it begins with capital letter. Please bring your camera. Who performs the action? You. Because he's giving you an order. Remember, imperatives begin with the verb. Take lots of pictures. The subject is you. Whenever you have imperative sentence, always the subject will be you. That's very short class. So I want you to copy that in your notebook. We have here the exercise. You will write next to each sentence if the sentence is imperative or declarative. Imperative begins with verbs and declarative has who performs the action. And then you have to write the subject. Okay, next to each sentence, you write imperative or declarative. Let's read number 1. Find 3 seats. Okay, what kind of sentence is it? It's imperative because it begins with a verb. So you will write imperative. And the subject in the sentence is you because it's an order. Every time you have an order, you will say that the subject is you. Now let's read sentence 2. Mary will sit next to you. Now this is a declarative sentence because it has who performs the action. Declarative. And the subject is Mary. Now, I want you to pay attention to the sentence. The clue is if the sentence begins with a verb will be imperative and the subject will be you. It's a very, very easy activity. I want you to complete the activity in your notebook, okay? Write the date and the title. Now, let's go to your Workbook Plus book on page 11. It says, for each sentence, write D for declarative or I for imperative. Then you will write the subject of the sentence. Let's read number 1. Potatoes are an ancient crop. So it's declarative. We will write just the letter D. And you will write in the line potatoes. I will, on the next sentences, I will underline because it's too hard to write and it takes a lot of time, okay? Now let's read number 2. Tell me more about potatoes. The word tell is a verb, so we know it's imperative. And you will write the subject you in the line. You. We eat the underground steam. We is the subject. I'm going to underline right there the subject, and that's declarative. We will write the letter D on the line. Declarative. Please give me some more facts. Please is a verb. Well, please is asking. The verb is give. Please give tells me that is an imperative sentence. And the subject is you. So I want you to complete the activity. Remember, imperative sentence begin with verb. That's a clue, a hint. If you don't know the words, look in the dictionary. Now, go to page 12 And this is a very easy activity. It says complete the television advertisements for tattered potatoes. Write an imperative sentence under each television screen to tell what each announcer is saying. The people or the announcer in each picture is saying something, but this sentence is an imperative sentence, so it gives an order. So you should begin with a verb. So let's see number one. I could say that the announcer is saying, buy these potatoes. Get some of these potatoes home. Take them home. Buy them at the store. So it could be any sentence that begins with a verb. So it could be an imperative sentence. Now, let's go to your practice book. This is a continue of the activities we've been seeing through this day. It's on page 19 on your practice. You will work on both books today. Declarative and interrogative. Declaratives tell something, interrogatives ask something. All sentences begin with capital letter, and declaratives end with a period, and interrogative ends with a question mark. Activity. Write the sentence using correct end punctuations and capitalization. That means you use capital letters. Then label the sentence declarative or interrogative. It's one of each kind. So that means on number one, where it says the Hubble telescope travels outside of Earth's atmosphere, you should begin with a capital letter, right there, and you need to end with a period. Okay? And that's declarative. In the last line, in the short, in the little line, you write declarative. Okay? So you will do the same with the next sentence. You have to add capital letters and punctuation. Have you seen any pictures of distant space objects taken by the telescope? It's asking for information. Begin with a capital letter and end with a question mark and label as interrogative. Okay? Let's go to page 20. Now we're going to review imperative and exclamatory. Imperative are orders or commands that begin with verbs, and exclamatory sentences are the ones that shows feelings or emotions. Okay? Activity. Write the sentence using correct end punctuation and capitalization. Then label each sentence imperative or declarative. Number one, whoa, I can't believe Mark is that far away. That expresses emotion, begin with a capital letter, and it ends with an exclamation mark because it expresses strong feeling. Then you label it on the small line, exclamatory. All right, exclamatory on the line. And you will do the same with sentence 2. Gather as much information as you can about Mars. Now, the word gather is a verb. So that means it's an order. It's an imperative sentence. Begin with a capital letter, ends with a period, and label as imperative. Okay? You will do the same with number 3. Don't leave the library until you find books on Mars. Don't leave is an order. So it's an imperative sentence. It begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. I want you to complete the activities. Now let's go to page 21. Kind of sentences. We know there are 4 kind of sentences. Declarative, the ones that tell something. Imperative, the ones that give orders. Interrogative, the one that asks something. And exclamatory, the ones that express feelings. Okay? The activity. Write the sentence using correct end punctuation and capitalization. Remember to add capital letters on red and punctuations on red. And it's one of each one. Tell, it's another, begin with a capital letter and ends with a period, okay? And the kind of sentence is imperative. So you will write on the line imperative. So you will do the same with the second sentence. You will rewrite the sentence, use capital letter on red, and end punctuations on red. Why didn't we send satellites into space before the 1950s? That's a question. So begin with a capital letter and end with a question mark and label as interrogative. And you will complete 3 and 4 by your own. And this is the last page on your practice. It's page 23. Page 23. Let me see, I have a different number. I guess it's the same page. Okay, sorry. Let's go to the last page. That's it.